Four on the floor, brought to you by Citywide Banks. 4 questions, 20 seconds each. Just jump in whenever you feel like answering, all right? And if you hear the bell, okay?
No
First
whammies,
question.
no whammies, no whammies.
Phil Mickelson's money has been connected to a money laundering situation. I don't know exactly what that means, and I've read the article about 100 times. I still don't get it. But do you even care that Phil Mickelson likes to gamble a lot?
Well, I don't understand what don't you say you don't
I don't
understand.
understand what that means, that Phil Mickelson's money is connected to a money laundering scheme.
Well, he bet with a guy who was doing. He was the guy was
a bookie.
A bookie, basically, and so he'd take Phil Mickelson's money and launder it into another business, and he would gamble it. I think I know more about this situation and don't have 30 seconds. Phil used to ask me who he should bet on, and I knew he bet. I knew he and his wife were known as big bettors in Las Vegas on sports and casino gambling, and I believe I'll end on this, that he switched to Callaway because of his gambling issue.
Do you care?
Oh, it's a good thing he doesn't play baseball, or he'd be in a big trouble.
Even though he's betting on stuff other than his sport?
The amount is a little disconcerting. I know he made $51 million last year, and this is about $3 million. But when you start involving millions, I've known professional athletes who've gambled. It does put you in an environment. It leaves you vulnerable to other things that aren't great for you and your wife and your family. And it does concern me a little bit, given the amount.
Yeah, I'm not all that concerned. I mean, I don't care that he gambles. We've known athletes and coaches who love to go to Vegas and love to gamble at craps table or blackjack. I mean, all on the golf course.
When they
as long as they're not betting on their own sport and on or against themselves, it doesn't matter. He's got so much money. I don't care that he loses $2.5 million.
Except they do in golf. When they go play overseas, they bet on themselves or other players all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have the issue would be, forgive me, I'm going overtime, but let's say that Mickelson goes and is $2.75 million in the hole. Goes and plays the British Open's got a putt to win it on the last hole, but he's bet Roy McIlroy
right, that's what I'm saying. It gets a little complicated.
That's where you could have a real issue with it.
Yeah.
I don't think, I should just say it, knowing him real well in our relationship, he bets on football. NFL football.
Yeah,
that's where his money goes.
Oh, that's one of the hardest sports to bet historically.
NBA's even tougher.
Yeah,
because of the 3-point garbage baskets at the end. All right, who's the best available NBA free agent not named LeBron James?
Do we still know who's available? They've been flying off the board this morning.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I tell you what, if Aldridge goes to San Antonio, that dynasty, and I consider them somewhat of a dynasty, it's close to a dynasty. He steps into Tim Duncan's role. Duncan mentors him. You got Aldridge is Tim Duncan rewind. I mean, he's the second coming of Tim Duncan.
Well, I think Luke Rittenhauer will get traded again for the 5th time, released, and then he becomes the top free agent.
He had a funny quote. Luke Rittenauer has been traded
4 times?
4 times in the last 6 days.
Yep.
He said, on a couple of them, I didn't even know I was traded.
My best trade story, that Pokey Reese got traded and then got shipped as part of one of O'Dowd's deals where he never spent a day here, and he was on a conference call, and he's like, do I at least get a hat? Do I get a Colorado Rockies cap?
Well, I think the saddest part of that story is there have been fans in 4 cities that have burned his jersey. Not because they're mad he left, because they bought a jersey thinking he was there for 20 minutes.
Third question. Would you participate in the July 4th hot dog eating contest at Coney Island?
I'm the only guy here that actually has been to it. I went out there when I worked in New York, and I went out to watch it. And it was fascinating. It was fascinating. Would I participate in it? Yeah, I'd quit after like 4. But those dogs are really good. First of all, those dogs are really
They're
good.
Nathan's, right?
Yeah, Nathan's.
The one time I watched was when Refrigerator Perry was in it, who did poorly. It's a speed eating contest with people who actually weigh like 100 pounds.
Well, yeah, and you don't chew it.
It's
you just slip the dog down your throat. How gross is that?
Yeah, I'm not at all into the competitive eating.
Do you
thing.
like hot dogs? Do you eat hot
dogs? Hot dogs are
I do
okay.
eat hot dogs, yeah.
Okay.
Hot dogs, brats, sausage sandwiches.
The best?
I'm not going to do this thing.
What's the best hot dog in the country?
It's not the Dodger dog. That's way overrated.
Oh man,
way overrated.
It's not. You and he kind of bring that up or something.
Way
no,
overrated.
It's not.
David Berg hot dogs at U.S. Cellular Field. What? Any kosher dog. A kosher dog's the best dog.
Why?
Yes, no?
Because
It's because they're good. I mean, I don't. What do you want me to
No,
say?
it's
they're good.
it's because you brought in one of your guys and said, "Say a nice prayer over this dog." Isn't that what that is?
They said a seance over this hot dog. I was like, they didn't kill the animal in front of him. Just let him eat the damn dog.
And there has to be a guy there, and he
Blesses the dog.
on the food. Is that what
I don't know. I'm not that observant.
Moving on. Woody's going to take us down with
Just
this
had
shit.
bacon yesterday morning. All right, they're making another Rocky movie. It's centered around Apollo Creed. Do we really need another Rocky movie? As somebody who started one of them,
You were in one of them. You get residuals.
I didn't know. Somebody had told me it's called Creed.
Yes.
It's about Apollo Creed's son, and Rocky comes in. He's not the star of the show, but he comes in and helps Apollo Creed's kid. And I was really upset. You know, I don't get really upset about much, but I was really upset because I'm still collecting money off of Rocky's 60 or whatever it's
Every
called.
16?
Yeah, and I was disappointed. I called my agent. I said, "Man, this was a perfect gig for me. I'm like, I could make a comeback in Rocky 73 or whatever it is."
I saw a YouTube clip. It actually doesn't look bad. But obviously after Rocky 3, I think Rocky 4 was Drago, right?
Yeah.
Then it went off the rails. Pardon me, Woody, but after 4 it got a little
Which
sketchy.
one are you in,
I like
5?
Six.
I think he was
It
in
was
6.
called Rocky Balboa,
Hey,
though. It was-
True Confessions. I saw the first 2 and I didn't watch any after that.
when we were doing,
Does that make me un-American?
Yes, it does.
when we were doing,
Thunder Lips was in
when we were
Rocky
doing
3.
six-
Thunder Lips?
Hulk Hogan.
yeah, and we were doing
glad I
6,
didn't see
and Skip Bayless and I were going to do they were going to do a featurette. You know how when you buy the DVDs, they were setting up all the featurettes in, and they said, "Well, what we want you to do is to go through the 5 movies and kind of tell us what you think about each one of them." And I said, "Okay, I can do that." So I was talking about each movie that I went with Al Albert in Houston when I was covering the Nuggets in the 70s. And we went before a Nuggets game and watched the first one. I came out of there inspired, and I thought it was a great movie. I went through all 5 of them. And they turned to Skip and they said, "Okay, your memories of the 5 Rocky movies." He said, "I've never seen one." And I went, "There goes our featurette."
And crickets.
I mean, he wouldn't even
Pretend.
bull his way through the thing. He just, "I never saw one."
Four on
What
the
are you
floor.
doing in it?
Brought to you by Citywide Banks.